Night Terrors in Aisle 9. Michael, a curious and mischievous 12-year-old boy, was known for his adventurous spirit around his small, sleepy town. He was a freckle-faced, blue-eyed lad with an infectious grin and a head full of unruly chestnut curls. He was loved and known by all for his cheeky pranks, but he also had an affinity for exploration, for uncovering mysteries hidden in plain sight. His latest adventure, spending a night in the 24-hour Walmart on the outskirts of town, a behemoth of consumerism that took on a completely different character when the night fell. One summer night, armed with a flashlight, a comic book, and a bag full of snacks, Michael managed to hide in a small nook behind the stacked cartons in the storage area. As the store's fluorescent lights dimmed, his heart pounded with excitement and a touch of fear. The store, usually bustling with life, was eerily quiet. Suddenly, a bone-chilling scream reverberated through the empty aisles, followed by an anguished cry that made his heart leap into his throat. He wanted to believe it was his imagination, but then he heard it again. A terrified sob, a plea for mercy, echoing through the quiet store. Gripped by a mix of fear and curiosity, Michael decided to investigate. He crept through the dimly lit aisles, his flashlight casting long, distorted shadows on the shelves. As he neared the toy section, he heard a gut-wrenching wail, followed by a sinister laugh. Flashlight in hand, he peeked around the corner, only to see a nightmarish scene unfold before him. Ghostly figures, ashen and translucent, hovered over a writhing shadow on the floor. The shadow screamed and convulsed, trying to escape the specters, but to no avail. A cold dread washed over Michael, and he staggered backward, knocking over a display stand. The clattering noise echoed through the store, and the ghostly figures turned their hollow eyes toward him. The spectral entities, their features a blur of horror, started to glide towards him. Michael, driven by pure fear, sprinted through the aisles, his heart pounding in his ears. He heard their wails growing louder, the cold touch of the supernatural brushing against his back as he narrowly escaped their grasp. He slipped into a narrow space between two vending machines, his small frame hidden from sight. He listened, heart pounding as the spectral wails receded, their pursuit called off. He remained there, shivering and scared, until the first rays of dawn. With the break of dawn, the store came back to life. Workers started to refill the shelves, customers trickled in, and the normalcy of the day washed away the horrors of the night. Exhausted and shaken, Michael slipped out of the store, vowing to never set foot inside after sunset. Yet, as he left, he could still hear the faint echo of the chilling wails, a grim reminder of the night he'd spent in Walmart. Nocturnal terrors at Walmart. Anna, a 24-year-old woman with sun-kissed skin and warm chocolate-brown eyes, was a diligent employee at her local Walmart. She was known for her infectious laughter and helpful nature, always eager to assist customers with their shopping. However, due to a recent financial crunch, she found herself unable to pay for her room. With no other option, she decided to stay overnight in the store's storage room. A decision that would set into motion a nightmarish chain of events. The store had a different aura after it closed for the day. The lights dimmed, and the usual hustle and bustle were replaced with an eerie silence. Anna initially enjoyed her stay, walking around the closed store, feasting on assorted snacks, and even trying on clothes she could never afford. Her fun evening took a dreadful turn when she decided to leave the storage room and venture into the main hall. There she saw two masked men, unmistakably robbers, looting the cash registers. Her heart pounded in her chest as she whipped out her phone to dial 911, but a firm hand snatched her phone away. The third robber, his eyes cold and menacing, tied her up, her pleas falling on deaf ears. Anna found herself at the mercy of the three thieves who were discussing what to do with her, when a menacingly tall figure emerged from the shadows. His face was hidden in the dim light, but his imposing presence was enough to send chills down her spine. He lunged at the robbers, overpowering them with brute force, leaving them unconscious on the floor. Relief washed over Anna, who thought her savior had arrived, but the feeling was short-lived. When he turned towards her, the dim light revealed a blank space where his face should have been. Fear struck her like a bolt of lightning, and she screamed, her voice echoing through the deserted store. The faceless man lunged at her, but Anna, summoning every ounce of courage, broke free from her ties and ran. She raced through the empty aisles, her heart pounding in her ears. She hid in different parts of the store, evading her faceless pursuer with narrow escapes. However, her run came to an end in the toy section. As she hid behind a shelf, the faceless man appeared, cornering her. The faceless man reached out to grab her, but Anna fought back with the toy she found near her. She ran again, but this time she was too slow. The man caught her, his cold grip sending shivers down her spine. As she was dragged away, the store's morning staff found the scene of the struggle, including the unconscious robbers, leading to a police investigation that would go on for months. But Anna was never seen again, her fate unknown, and her memory lingering in the quiet Walmart store like a ghost. Lurking shadows of aisle 13. Carter, a middle-aged man with deep-set eyes and a rough beard, had been the security guard at the local Walmart for as long as anyone could remember. As stern as his appearance might be, his colleagues knew him as a jovial and reliable individual. He had stories for days, but one that no one ever believed was that of the unusual happenings at the store after hours. Intrigued by his own experiences, Carter decided to investigate these strange occurrences, not realizing he was about to encounter a chilling supernatural reality. As twilight set in, Carter finished his usual rounds, ensuring everything was locked up for the night. The store was calm and quiet, a stark contrast from its usual bustling self. It was during these hours he had often noticed strange occurrences, items misplaced, unusual sounds, and once a chilling whisper in his ear when no one was around. A shudder ran down his spine as he recalled the incidents. Tonight, he decided to conduct his own investigation, starting with aisle 13, where most disturbances were reported. The aisle was dimly lit, the flickering tube lights giving it an eerie appearance. His heart pounded as he began to patrol, his eyes scanning the shelves meticulously. Hours passed in silence until Carter reached the end of the aisle. Suddenly, he heard a crash behind him. Whirling around, he found a pile of cans on the floor. Confused, he went to clean up, but he felt a cold gust of wind that made him freeze. A chilling whisper echoed, "Leave! Now!" Carter's blood ran cold. He was about to run when he saw a shadowy figure emerge at the end of the aisle. It was tall and vaguely human-like, but composed entirely of shadows. Fear gripped Carter, but he held his ground. The figure lunged at him and he ran, his footsteps echoing throughout the store. The chase ensued through the labyrinth of aisles, with Carter desperately trying to escape. The creature was relentless, smashing things and screeching in an otherworldly voice. Carter ran, dodging fallen products until he reached his security office and slammed the door behind him, panting heavily. Outside, the creature pounded on the door, its strength rattling the frame. Carter huddled in a corner, praying for the sunrise. As the first rays of light peeked through the store's windows, the pounding ceased, leaving behind an unsettling silence. When the morning staff arrived, they found Carter unconscious in his office and the store in disarray. As he later narrated his terrifying encounter, he was met with disbelief and concern. No tangible evidence of the creature was found, and his story was dismissed as a product of stress. However, every night, as the clock struck midnight, a chilling whisper could be heard in aisle 13, followed by a trail of displaced items, a constant reminder of the store's haunting secret. Though Carter never saw the creature again, he knew it was still lurking, a lurking shadow waiting for its next unsuspecting victim.